Naming chemical compounds. When we name a chemical compound, we're always looking to understand what's present in it. So we use the names of the elements that make it up. If we have iron and sulfur, always put a name, always fail, then we will finish up with a compound that contains iron and a compound that contains sulfur, but we change the end of the non-metallic, in this case, to an "-ide". What that tells us is that there's just two elements present in that compound, iron and sulfur. If oxygen is also present, then we'll have iron plus sulfur plus oxygen. This would give us, still start with the name of the metal, iron. Still need to say that we have sulfur present in it. But to indicate that oxygen is also there, rather than "-ide", it would finish either "-ite" or "-ate". And that depends on the amount of oxygen that is actually present. Here are a few to think about. If we have copper plus sulfur, then we're going to get copper sulfide. If we have copper plus sulfur plus oxygen, then it becomes copper sulfate or "-ite". Iron plus carbon will give us iron carbide, whereas iron plus carbon plus oxygen will give us iron carbon 8 or "-ite". Sodium plus fluorine will give us sodium fluoride, but sodium plus fluorine plus oxygen will give us sodium fluorate or "-ite", depending on the amount of oxygen that's present. There are three ways of doing it. First way, what we're looking at here with the first way is how you do it for covalent compounds. i.e. non-metallics. You do this by adding a prefix to inform you of how many of the particular type of atom is present. So if we have CO, we know we've got carbon, we know we've got oxygen, we've got one of each, so we'd call it carbon, and then to tell me there's one oxygen, monoxide. The mon means one. If we've got CO2, same idea, we've got carbon, we have oxygen, but this time with two of them. So the formula is carbon dioxide. The di meaning two. If we've got sulfur and three oxygens, then we'd have sulfur, and this time, to tell me there's three oxygens there, trioxide. If we've got more unusual formula, nitrogen, which we've got two of, and oxygen, which in this case we've got four of, we would have nitrogen, and because we've got two of them, it becomes nitrogen. We've got 4 oxygens. Tetra means 4. Oxide. Does mean that you need to know mon equals 1. Di equals 2. Tri equals 3. Tetra equals 4. And pent, excuse my writing, equals 5. That's a nice easy thing that you need to be able to remember for finding the formula of covalent compounds, non-metallic elements.